Hi folks, hoping everyone is staying safe, well and keeping active. Clearly a slow news week that Corgis asked me to jump on and give my greatest 15, but we'll give it a whiz. Apologies in advance to anyone who've played alongside at Kirkcaldy who haven't made it into the team, like everyone else who's done this. A pretty tough task to narrow it down, but yeah, here we go. In at 1, Mark Thompson. Moomin, great scrummager, great around the park, a real mobile prop, and good hands as well. Fancies himself as a bit of a 10 at training sometimes, much to the coach's frustration. But he loved a good whinge at training as well, which certainly kept me amused on those cold winter nights. And Marky obviously went on to play for Heriots as well. A really good player, so Marky in at 1. At 2, Greg Wallace. Greg's been picked in most teams for his entertainment value, but you're in my team on Rugby Merit, mate. So yeah, let's talk about that. The most capped Kirkcaldy player in history. So says it all really. A game changer, whether it's a big ball carry, a big hit, or just some words to the boys under the post when the chips are down. He's got that ability to single-handedly change a game. As a youngster, certainly someone that everyone in my team and I looked up to, and as did in other youth teams. So it's been pretty cool to play virtually all my first 15 games alongside Greg. Someone when you're in the changing room before the game, someone that you love to look out for in that huddle, because he's not going to back down, and it really motivates you. He's got the boys' backs all day, so yeah, a no-brainer to chuck Greg in at hooker for this team, and yeah, not too bad for a sing-song either. At 3, George Mangalo. Quite similar to Moomin, another prop with a great set of hands. I think there's a YouTube video against Berwick, I think it was. Big Dode and Greg are out guysing in the midfield. Ball comes to Dode and runs this unbelievable cut with Greg, bamboozles the defence. And I think Greg's almost in for a try at that one. Obviously a great scrummager, and in the time that I played with George, I think we won a lot of scrums before that first scrum had even taken place. When the opposition looked up and saw the big fella out on the park. So yeah, heads were straight down after they saw him. So yeah, a great player, and my pick at 3. Moving on to second row, number 4, I've put Matt Harvey. Matty, phenomenal player. Just one of those guys that was, he did everything right. Made very few mistakes. And when I know when Josh picked his team a couple of weeks ago, spoke about Matty's offloads. I mean, for such a big guy, he's awesome at doing that, and all you really had to do was just run off his shoulder, and he would get the arms free, roll the ball around the defender's back, and all you had to do, like I say, is just run that line, and you were on to a winner. As a youngster, again, coming through, someone that would just look after you on the pitch, always talking to you, making sure you're all right, and yeah, always got your back all day long. Matty did. Obviously, went on to play at Twickenham for the Royal Navy, which was a massive achievement for a Kirkcaldy lad, and just an all-round good guy, Matty. At 5, gone for Andy Henderson. I didn't see much of Hendo play. I kind of came to the club when Hendo was sort of winding down in his playing days. But a true Kirkcaldy legend, and I think up to a couple of seasons ago, the club's most capped player, which he'd held for a number of years. Yeah, a proper tough player. Any of the older boys around the club that you speak to, will say the same. Yeah, Matty and Hendo in at lock for me. At 6, blindside flanker, I've put Jamie Syme. Another guy, admittedly, I didn't see a huge amount of play. He obviously played a huge part in the club's history when they were in Premier 1. And again, you speak to some of the older guys that I played with, will say that Syme was, one of the most skillful forwards they've ever seen. But at the same time, just a proper hard player. And then when he left Kirkcaldy, went over to Heriots where he's been for a number of years. Syme went at 6. Number 7 is Rab van Rensburg. But a silent assassin, as old Wigs. Quite similar to Neil Back as an open side, and there was not a blade of grass that Wigs wouldn't cover on a Saturday afternoon. A great jackler of the ball, won a heck of a amount of turnovers for the team when I was playing, and a real hard hitter of a man. A great asset to have in the pack, especially when you're coming up against those border teams. And rounding off the pack at 8, Craig MacDonald. I've probably never not seen him make ground, especially off the back of a scrum. For a big man, he's a quick man, and yeah, he would quite often just come up with that big play for the team when they're maybe on the back foot. He'd get those hard yards for the boys, and the momentum of the game would change. And a bit of a prolific try scorer from what I can remember was old Judo. On to the backs. Number 9, Gav McKenzie. Gav is one of my best mates. Played virtually all of my youth rugby with Gav. Great passer of the ball, and more often than not an extra forward on the pitch as well. Loves a bit of rough and tumble, and still does old Gav. I think I've lost count of the amount of times I've had to bail him out of wee scraps and scuffles on the pitch, but that's because he's a Kirkcaldy man through and through. Wears his heart on his sleeve, so an easy pick for me at 9. Another easy pick at 10, the one and only Quinny Sanft. Quinny's easily the best player that I've ever played alongside. A hugely skilled player, and in his player coach role, helped me massively from a young age on skill development and things like that. I remember my first season playing first 15 rugby. We had a scrum in the opposition half, I was playing 15 at the time, Quinny at 10, and the backs came together. We're looking to Quinny for a bit of guidance to tell us what was happening, what move we'd be running. And Quinny sort of comes out with, well, my opposite man, he's been sitting back in defence. He's not been coming up, but the guy outside of him at 12, he's been flying out the line. So there's going to be a gap there. So when I get the ball, I'll just go through that gap. I'll draw the fullback in. And all I need is someone on my left, someone on my right. I'll draw the fullback past them, and we'll be under the post. We're all looking at Quinny in disbelief, sort of thinking, right, okay, Quinny, what's actually happening here? Is no, trust me. So right enough, gets the ball off the back of the scrum. His opposite man stays where he was. The 12 comes flying up. He goes through the gap, draws the fullback, and I can't remember who it was, but rightly enough, they were under the post for the try. So an unbelievable reader of the game, and one of the greatest that's ever played at Kirkcaldy. So yeah, like I say, easy picks at 9 and 10. On the left wing, number 11, Kurt Littlejohn. A great counter-attacker, safe as houses as well, and under the high ball. Traditionally a fullback, but with Kurt's pace and those long strides, he's not out of place on the wing. Plus he's quite ball greedy, Kurt. So yeah, maybe on the wing's a wee bit better for him. But yeah, in all seriousness, when he stopped making his millions out in Australia, hopefully we see him back in a blue jersey someday soon. On to the centres, at 12, Colin Harvey. Much like his brother Matt, just someone who always performed, and a player who just seemed to have so much time on the ball. Loved watching Harv when I was younger, and being fortunate enough to play a wee bit with him as well. And just a hard as nails player. The man would tackle a steam train if it came down his channel. And someone that I certainly learnt a lot from when I was younger, and I guess the importance of talking on the pitch and just talking your way through a game. Harv doesn't seem to shut up when he's playing, which is a good thing, and certainly it brings the best out of the boys around him. So yeah, one of the best that's pulled on that 12 jersey for the club. In the centre, but alongside Harv, we're going for Cammy Goodall. A bit of a wrecking ball in attack and defence. My first season playing first 15, I was at fullback. Cammy was 13, and all you really had to do is just run off his shoulder, and good things would happen, because you knew you'd make that half break, that full break, and you just had to run alongside him, and chance of getting further up the pitch or scoring tries were a huge possibility. A quiet but really hard guy, and if you'd made a mistake, all it was a wee look from Cammy, and you knew not to make that mistake again. So yeah, you always wanted to be on Cammy's good side. Went on to play at Heriots and in the Scotland Club 15, so a hugely talented guy. So yeah, Cammy in at 13. On the right wing, number 14, I've gone for Ian Gillis. Gillis started his career on the wing. I'm not too sure if he'd thank me nowadays if I chucked him out there, but certainly someone that I wouldn't not want to have in my team. A really good mate of mine. Played a bit with Gillis in the centres, and the man's got my back all day long. You trust him with your life to make that tackle. Quite similar to Harv, really chatty and a really smart player as well. So yeah, thoroughly enjoyed playing my rugby with Gillis. And lastly, at 15, is Andreessen. Only played a couple of seasons at Kirkcaldy in the first 15 before moving on to bigger and better things, I guess, at Edinburgh and with the Scotland 7 squad. And he's a classy player, much of which was probably down to his old man Bob. Bit of a superstar when I was at high school. Andy was a couple of years above me at school, and yeah, this guy was in 5th year playing for the first 15. He's doing Scotland age grade stuff, so yeah, certainly someone that, you know, a lot of us looked up to. So yeah, and Andy in at 15. On the bench, my front row cover is Jamie Brown. A really hardy guy, from what I can remember watching when I was a ball boy. Always in scuffles, took great pleasure in winding the opposition up. Also on the bench because there's no way Greg's making 80 minutes. So Bruni, he'll be on quick after half time, no doubt. And yeah, always remember I'm wearing flash boots, which yeah, never quite understood. But 17, second row cover is Kenny Fraser. Another guy who is just hard as nails on the pitch, you know, an expert at the line-out time. You know, not only did he call all of Kirkcaldy's line-outs, he also knew all the moves and called the opposition line-outs as well. And apart from John Eales, the only second row I've ever seen goal kick, and a heck of a goal kicker he was. Got a huge amount of points for the team. A proper old school man. You know, no excuses kind of guy who, you know, in my last few seasons at the club, really enjoyed being coached by Kenny. So he's in there as second row cover. Number 18 at back row cover is Craig Wilson. A natural, just ball wrecking machine of a player. And I think Marky Wallace mentioned in his team that he's just an impossible man to tackle. If you go high on Chick, you get swatted off. If you go low on him, because he runs with his knees high up, you're getting knees in your face and your shoulder. High possibility you're getting KO'd. So yeah, when I moved up to senior rugby, it was you were very quick to learn when there was a training game going on. You made sure you were in Chick's team. But yeah, an awesome player to have running off the back of the scrum, and it's a sort of guaranteed 15-20 metre gain every time the big man got the ball. So yeah, Chicky's in there. 19 at halfback cover is Chris McConnell. A whippet of a player. Could sidestep someone in a phone box, could Chrissy. Frustratingly agile, especially when the big boys' eyes were lighting up when Chris was running towards them with the ball. But yeah, in a blink of an eye, he had sidestepped them, run around them, and was 10 metres past them. A top bloke who, yeah, I enjoyed playing a bit of rugby with at the club. And then lastly, number 20 as a utility back is Willie Berry. Comfortable on the wing at fullback or in the centres. Some of Willie's big hits would really change the momentum of the game. Sometimes not in Willie's favour if he hit that a bit too hard. A player who just accelerated into contact, both in attack and defence, and a great reader of just hitting a really good line, and would quite often make good line breaks off that as well. So that's the team. It was a pretty tricky task. Hopefully I've not offended anyone by leaving them out. And yeah, stay safe, guys. and hopefully see everyone down at Beveridge Park sometime soon in the new season.